Every Christmas Eve, children around the world wait for Santa to silently slip down chimneys, guided by stars, snow, and warmth. But hidden deep in the northern wilderness beneath mountains of pine, ice, and endless white, there is a forgotten town called Frost Hollow, a place where Santa never used chimneys. He didn't slide down rooftops. He didn't leave gifts by the fireplace. In Frost Hollow, he visited your front door, uninvited, unseen, but always present, and those who greeted him were never heard from again. Frost Hollow wasn't on any map. Its streets were narrow, its forests unnaturally dense, its winters never ending. Even in July, snow sat unmelted along the roads. People called it cursed. Locals whispered about the Night of Crimson Bells, a centuries-old superstition claiming that when the bells started ringing, someone in town would disappear before the next sunrise. Not jingle bells, not cheerful sleigh chimes. These bells were heavy, rusty, scraping and grinding like metal dragged over bone. Children grew up telling stories of a tall figure at the tree line too still to be human, too tall to be a man, a red coat torn by frost, a white beard stiff as icicles, and eyes hollow, pitch-black circles that reflected nothing. He never stepped forward, he never moved toward them. He simply watched until Christmas came. Then families vanished one each year. Homes left open, fireplaces still warm, dinners halfway eaten, no footprints leaving, only entering. Most residents packed up and fled over the years, but one family stayed. The Harris family, Mark, Alina, and their daughter Lily. They didn't believe in myths, they didn't believe in monsters. But belief isn't necessary when something believes in you. And that December, for the first time in decades, Frost Hollow's curse returned. It began on December 20th. Mark woke up early and stepped outside to grab firewood. What he saw froze him solid, massive boot prints forming a perfect circle around their house. The strange part wasn't their size, it was the untouched snow. No snowfall had occurred the night before, yet the prints were fresh, deep, and perfectly symmetrical, as if someone, or something, had walked around their home for hours, studying it. The next day, small wrapped presents appeared on their windowsill. They weren't there when Alina went to sleep. Inside the first gift was a broken wooden toy soldier chewed at the edges, cracked in half. The second held a porcelain doll with a shattered face. The third contained a miniature sleigh with deep scratch marks across its base. None of the toys belonged to Lily, none belonged to the town, and none was sold anywhere nearby. On the 22nd, a parchment rolled silently under their front door, a naughty or nice list written in blood-colored ink. Their names appeared under naughty, each underlined with heavy pressure, as if carved rather than written. Lily said she heard whispering outside her bedroom window each night, soft, cold breaths saying, "Let me in, it's cold out here." But when Mark checked, he saw nothing except trees standing unnaturally still. On December 23rd, Alina climbed to the attic and found the small window cracked open, soot smeared across the frame. Long strands of white hair hung from the edges, thick, coarse, frozen like iron. Not human, not animal, something older, something colder. When Christmas Eve arrived, the temperature outside plummeted to -40°C. The wind howled like wolves circling the home. The Harris family bolted their doors, nailed shut the windows, and blocked the fireplace. Every light was turned off, every curtain drawn. Still, the feeling of being watched never left. By 11 p.m., the house felt like a coffin, airtight, silent. The dog growled nonstop at the entrance, ears flat, tail tucked tightly under his body. At 11:37 p.m., the bells began, not playful, not rhythmic, but grinding, metallic, dragging through the icy wind as if pulled behind something massive. They swept through the forest, echoing between the trees, getting closer slowly, steadily, inevitably. At 11:50 p.m., the living room window fogged over from outside. A long shadow passed across the glass massive, towering, breathing so heavily the frost pulsed with every exhale. The house walls vibrated with a voice, distant yet everywhere at once. "I see you." The doorknob at the front entrance began to twist on its own. No knocking, no rattling, just a slow, controlled attempt to enter, as if the being outside had all the patience in the world. Mark grabbed his family and ran to the attic, the only room with a lock strong enough to hold. Inside, they discovered boxes of the previous homeowners' families who had also vanished. Inside were dusty journals, yellowed notes, and newspaper clippings with headlines, "Santa impersonator still at large." "Frost Hollow killer strikes again. Town demands answers." One journal contained drawings of a monstrous Santa figure, skeletal, towering, draped in a red coat stitched from torn fabric and old skin. Underneath was a message. "He is not Santa, he is older, summoned long ago, a shadow of winter that feeds on fear." Below them, heavy footsteps shook the house. Furniture dragged across the floor. Cabinets crashed open one by one. Something was searching methodically, patiently. Each room fell silent after being overturned until only the attic remained untouched. The attic stairs groaned. One step, then another, and another. Slow, heavy, certain. Lily hid behind her mother. Mark stood with his hand on the door, heart pounding louder than the storm outside. The doorknob twitched, then rotated with unnatural calm. A faint cold vapor seeped in through the cracks. Shadows thickened under the doorframe, pooling like dark fog. The door creaked open a sliver. A long hand slid through the gap wrapped in red cloth torn at the fingertips, revealing gray, rotting skin beneath. Fingers stretched far too long to be human, ending in chipped ice-colored nails. The voice came again, closer this time, soft but suffocating. Not firmly. Mark shoved the door closed with all his strength. The creature pushed back, stronger, heavier, ancient. The attic walls trembled. The ceiling dust rained down. Bells screamed through the air like tortured metal. Lily cried out into the darkness, "Stop, go away," and then silence, stillness, nothing. The pressure on the door vanished. The cold faded. The bells slowly drifted away, swallowed by the forest. Heavy footsteps descended the stairs, then stopped entirely. Hours later, sunlight broke through the shattered windows. The Harris family emerged from the attic to find the house torn apart, claw marks on the walls. Furniture flipped, floors cracked with frost, but the creature was gone. On the kitchen table lay one final gift, a red box tied with frozen twine. Inside was a note written in shaking letters. "Merry Christmas, see you next year." The final shot pans out through the window, past the ruined home, over the endless snow, into the dark forest. There, half hidden among the trees, stands the towering figure in a ragged red coat, watching, waiting, unmoving, preparing for the next family, next Christmas Eve end.